It is very common for IT teams to get very caught up in the mechanics of what we deliver. The most important thing that we could do in IT is to build a relationship with our practices. We're not satisfied with just delivering on time and on budget and on scope. We want to make sure that as we design our solutions and we're hearing the needs of the business, we're good consultants.
I'm Dr. Scott Law, and I want to thank you for tuning in to the Smile Doctors Off Mute podcast. I'm so excited to have our guest today, Jenni Doyle, who is the Chief Technology Officer for Smile Doctors. We have some of the most incredible orthodontists as well as some of the most incredible business people we could find in all the industry. Jenni comes from just a wide, various backgrounds of experience with multi-site, with all sorts, and all of her career has been just growth and growing people and being amazing. And so I'm really excited for everybody to get to know you today, Jenni. So welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me today, Dr. Law. It's great to be here.
Awesome. Let's see. Let's kick off a little bit. So we'll have some of these. We're going to ask you some fun questions that are pretty random.
Let's do it.
We'll probably fit these somewhere within this podcast. So we'll go from there. Okay. So, what living person do you most admire?
Oh, that's easy. That's my mom. My mom is amazing, and she really kind of helped me get my start in technology.
Okay, how's that?
So when I grew up in a small rural community, we didn't have cable TV. This was before cell phones. Really, my options growing up were, play outside in the neighborhood creek, read a book, or typically mow grass. And when I was about 12 years old, my mom, who worked most of my childhood, she bought us a computer because she knew that professionally she needed to move where the puck was going, right? Like figure out how to use technology and get comfortable with it. And so we had this computer all of a sudden in the house, and that sounded like more fun than mowing grass. So I asked if I could give it a shot, and she empowered me to do it. So I picked up a programming book and threw in a cassette tape, because that's what you recorded your programs on back then, and put myself to work. And I wrote my first program when I was about 12.
That is so cool. Wow. That's awesome. Visionary that way to encourage you to follow a passion. I love it. I love it. You've spoken highly about your mother to me many, many times. So I know you have a deep love for her. That's awesome.
My mom taught me my work ethic. So I'm very, very appreciative of the way she raised me.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. What is your greatest extravagance?
I am a serial weekend napper. My family knows, do not mess with my schedule on the weekends. If I don't get a nap on Saturday and Sunday, I'm a pretty grouchy mom.
Oh, okay. Are you an afternoon napper, mid-morning napper? When is it?
I am an afternoon napper, and as much as it irritates my husband, I love to nap on the couch, because there's just something like incredibly chill about being on the couch, my little dog curled up next to me, and that extravagance of like, this is my hour, right where I want it, right? Just leave me alone. Let me do my thing.
Totally comfortable. Yep. Right in the center. I love it. Okay. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. What words or phrases do you most overuse?
Oh, that is a great question. I think for me, I'm going to credit Dr. Greg Goggins. My favorite phrase right now is better never rest. I
hear you do that. I also hear from you, what was it? One size fits one. Correct me. How is it? You say something with a t-shirt?
One size fits one. Yes. Actually, Dr. Goldenberg gave me a t-shirt behind me that has that phrase on it. It was a phrase I picked up from my time at KinderCare. It was strong in our culture there because we believed we needed to meet every child on their educational journey right where they were. So when I came here and I realized, how our brand of brands mentality really works here at Smile Doctors, it really resonated for me that one size fits one, and meeting each practice right where they're at was going to be really an impactful approach for me to take with technology.
I love it. Did you have a story about that? Did you have any particular practice or an occasion where you
Oh gosh.
implemented that stands out?
I think, I guess one that comes to mind for me when I walked in the door, it's tough in IT when you're supporting multi-unit, because most multi-unit organizations take a cookie cutter approach to save money, to save time, to be scalable, supportable. Everybody gets the same computer. Everybody gets the same monitor. Everybody gets the same laptop. Everybody uses the same software. That's how the entire industry works. That's the entire way my whole career had basically been. I'd been taught, you come in, you set a standard, you roll it out. And so when I got here, not surprising, we rolled out the same black framed monitor everywhere.
Right.
And I get that. I understand why the team, I'm not throwing any shade on the decisions made in the past. I understand why they did what they did. But, Scott, I'm passionate about going out and visiting our practices. I love to see the teams at work. And it started to impress upon me very quickly that not everybody has a practice aesthetic, that the decor where a black monitor fits in. And I thought of, NVO comes to mind, top of mind for me, because when I spent some time out there with Dr. Casagrande and his awesome team, I noticed they had a very clean, light and bright aesthetic. And we were going to walk in and plop those big black framed monitors on their desks. And I talked to my team and I thought, why can't we offer options? Why can't we have a white monitor and a gray monitor and a black monitor? At the end of the day, they all do the same thing. But if it fits in better to the aesthetic of that team, if it's a less jarring transition, and I know it's just a small thing, it's the color of a monitor, but I also think it shows that IT respects where they're at, who they are, what they're trying to do for their practice, how they want to show up. And it's a small change that really didn't cost us anything, didn't mean anything except that we just source a couple of different monitors to fit in better with the practice. And it was hopefully an impactful gesture for the team, but also a small change that we can make on our side to show that we really do care about serving them and meeting them where they're at.
That is awesome. I love that story. Yeah. And I know it matters, especially in orthodontics, when the details matter. It gets all those things, especially how the doctors really care for the aesthetic of their practice, how it feels inside. That's so very important. That's awesome. So last one, when and where are you your happiest?
I am my happiest when I am out RVing. My husband and I bought an Airstream. And so when we are at a campsite near the water, preferably, again, with our little dog, Ella, when we're out there, that is definitely my happy place.
And you have 3 kids that you rave about and love, and I hear all about. So
I adore my 3 kids. They are definitely the center of the universe for my husband. I hope that they know how supported we are of them and how they are as individuals, because I know I feel supported in being who I am because of what they and my husband give me.
I love it. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your journey. How'd you end up as Smile Doctors?
I did not expect to be at Smile Doctors. I never thought I was on a journey to go towards healthcare. I have been in retail, restaurants, really hospitality, service-oriented businesses my whole career. Multi-unit, usually 1,500 locations or more. It was 1,500 was about the smallest I had been a part of. And I loved that. I loved being in hospitality. My first job was Taco Bell when I was in high school, and I learned early on about serving others and being part of a team. And so working in pizza and chicken wings, retail environments, that really fit me because it gave me a way to use technology to help a massive number of people serve. And I was always so proud if I was driving through a town and I saw a Papa Murphy's or a Wingstop or a KinderCare, I thought that's a brand I represent. And it made me proud and, made my family proud to see what I was a part of. And a recruiter I had worked with in the past contacted me about braces, an organization that did braces. And I thought, it's healthcare, that is not the path for me. I'm a retail restaurant girl. I'm going to stick with what I know. And thanks to a very persistent recruiter who said, no, you just got to meet these people. I had the chance to meet you and to meet Jay Hedrick. And after the conversations with both of you, I went home and told my husband, I was like, I don't think I've ever wanted something more in my life. These are the people I'm supposed to serve with. This is an organization that aligns to my values. This is something that I would be proud to be part of. And so I guess I worked hard enough to get the job, but I put everything I had of myself into every meeting with you guys to make sure that you saw that I would give you my all if you took a chance on me.
I remember that interview very vividly. I thought I only had a half an hour with you, and then I was enjoying our conversation so much, I stepped out after 30 minutes. I then realized I have another 15. And so you were back to back, right, with interviews. And so then I jumped back in because I wanted to hear more about you. I wanted to hear about your heart. I wanted to hear about what matters to you. What are your hopes and dreams? How do you serve other people? And we've hit it off ever since. And so I knew who you were. I'm like, you belong here. This is our people. This is what we do. So just love you. Awesome. Okay. So you came in, you've made huge impact to this organization. And I know you have a small but mighty team, and you lead a team of IT folks, mostly stationed in India, right?
No, actually. Nothing wrong. And I do have a few folks that support us from India. We've augmented a little bit of development there, but no, most of our people are all US based. And they're Smile Doctors employees. There is a path in IT. A lot of companies take it. And again, that's their choice. But they outsource certain functions, especially a lot of times their help desk. That first line of defense, it's very common for companies to outsource that. And I've seen that in other companies I've worked with. But as soon as I got here and I got to know the organization, talking to you, talking to Jay, visiting some practices, I realized that the most important thing that we could do in IT is to build a relationship with our practices, with our support center team members that showed that we cared as much about orthodontics and patient care as they did. And as much as it could be financially maybe attractive or scalable to outsource parts of IT, I think it's really even more impactful that when a practice is having a bad day, and they do have to call IT. Nobody calls us on their good days. They only call us on their bad days. But when they do call our help desk and they need help, that they're going to talk to a team member that they know their name. Maybe they've worked with Dana before or Dan. They know that, Stephen Kellogg's just a phone call away. They know these people. And I think that's incredibly impactful. Yep. And just as impactful as the IT team, we know their business. We talk in our team meetings about the number of new smiles started each month. And we talk about, the challenges our practices are facing, or when we're getting ready for a really big event day, we talk about that because we want to meet them where they're at and make sure that we understand how we can show up best for them.
I love that. So you talk often about your philosophy on people, process, tech. Explain a little bit about that. Yeah. What's your approach?
I think in IT, and again, I've been doing this now for 25 years, it is very common for IT teams to get very caught up in the mechanics of what we deliver. So it can be all about on time and on budget, delivering exactly what was asked for, delivering to scope. And as important as those things are, it is important to deliver on time and on budget, to honor your commitments, which is one of our values here, but also just personally for me, a value. I think it is just as important, though, that we, again, meet users where they're at. So understanding the people and the process side as much as we understand the technology side. So how that shows up for me and for the team is we're not satisfied with just delivering on time and on budget and on scope. We want to make sure that as we design our solutions and we're hearing the needs of the business, we're good consultants, that we ask great questions, that we understand the business well enough to really drill down into what we're talking about with the business need that maybe we're being asked to solve, and that we probe a little further. Maybe we bring some ideas to the table, things we've seen from other projects, things we see from other industries, and just to help make the outcome that much richer, or maybe deliver that much faster, something that we can use to catapult the time frame for delivery. And I think for us, getting to know the people, making sure we understand how we're going to meet their needs, what can help them to adopt a solution a little faster, a little easier, really sets us apart. Anybody can deliver tech. That's done by lots of people around the world, lots of different industries, lots of different companies. But I think what sets us apart is that getting to know the people, really making sure we understand those needs, understanding the processes that they want to execute or to improve on for the patient, for their own clinical team efficiency. And then we focus on the tech.
I love that. I love that. It's a people first organization. We say it all the time.
Okay.
Love people first, straighten teeth second. And that could be applied in any of our functions, right? So love people first. Let's figure out processes and tech second. So it's just all in that as we support that. I love it. So with tech, for sure, there's tons of misconceptions. And so what role do you and your team actively take to correct some of those misconceptions? Perhaps even within Smile Doctors, some of the things you had to overcome early.
Oh gosh. I think one is that cookie cutter mindset. I think most people expect that, especially joining corporate, right? Especially our new affiliations, their experience has been limited. They haven't had exposure to a group that does it like us with people first mindset. Additionally, they're used to what functions their MSP provided from an IT standpoint. So they think that the only thing we do is password resets or software installs, when our IT organization here at Smile Doctors does so much more. The men and women in this organization support everything from telephony to custom software development and integration to internet services and our partners that help us to have reliable and consistent internet, to information security, which we do all have to think about. And, one of our teams that makes us unique is our clinical tech team. They support the x-rays in our practices, which most third-party IT companies don't support. We have a group of dedicated folks here at Smile Doctors who do nothing but x-ray support because we know how disruptive that can be to a practice. And again, we want to be there for them when they need us most. So we set up a team here that focuses exclusively on x-rays.
I love it. One of the first things that was developed was visibility on internet being down, right?
Yeah.
And I'd heard it said that you want to know our internet is down even before we do. Just a proactive approach. Yep. So it's that internet's one example. What are some other things I think that you do behind the scenes that people are completely unaware of, oblivious to? Just that it seems like you just turn it on and it works. I think take a minute to kind of brag on your team. What do you guys do?
It's easy. I have the best team in the industry. And that's because better never rests. We're trying to get better every day.
That's a phrase you use all the time. I
do use all the time. I do love better never rests. It kind of starts with internet, but it's a mindset. Having worked in so many different industries, again, traditional IT waits for you to call. They wait for something to go wrong. They wait even if it's custom development, they sit back and wait for somebody in the business to have a great idea, to want to solve a problem or to move a needle. And then they call IT and say, hey, can you build this for us? And I think IT can be different. I think IT can be proactive versus reactive. And so the way that we see that, and we did start with internet here at Smile Doctors because internet is so important. It's as important as electricity now, right? No electricity, no patient care, no internet, no patient care. And so we tackled that when I first got here. I have a great partner that helped me tackle that here at Smile Doctors. And we set about to make sure that we right-sized all of our circuits, that we put cellular backup into our practices so that we could soften the risk of a bad day. We have dramatically reduced the outages by over 60% for internet outages for our practices. And then we've also reduced the cost because I truly think there's a way to win-win in that particular service. But it really was the catalyst that kicked us off to this proactive thought process. If we use technology to be able to monitor proactively your internet, your telephony, your applications and how they're performing, the health of your PCs, we're not all the way to bright on all this yet. It is something we're working on day by day, but our vision is we're going to know it's broken before you do. We do that with the applications we host. We see that our monitors tell us that something may not be performing quite right about one of those applications. And we're able to provide more stable functionality then by getting ahead of those issues and getting that remediated before users even call us at the help desk. That is our dream, to spread that across all the various parts of technology here. And our engineering team, our help desk teams, our application development teams, that is something that we're very focused on to continue to mature here at Smile Doctors, because better never rests.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit, shift gears some about, and talk some about leadership. Now, being a female CTO is not all that common. Am I accurate to say that?
I think it is very fair to say that. I go to a tech conference and there is no line for the bathroom.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so how has that been in your career to be a female in kind of a man's world in this industry, in this area of technology?
It has been something that, as I grew through my career, it's different things I had to overcome. Everything from learning to play golf so I could go hang out with the guys,
right,
and be part of the conversation, to actually had a boss once tell me that I needed to make sure I was being a good mom while balancing my career.
Okay.
There's some realities, unfortunately, that I've encountered through this, but I think, male or female, mom and dad are not being a parent. I think the opportunity to just demonstrate strong leadership, to demonstrate compassion and empathy in an organization is something we can all bring to the table. And I hope I get a chance to do that every day.
I love that. I think that's one of the things I'm most impressed by you is your leadership ability. And whenever I'm in a meeting with you, Jenni, I love being in meetings with you. I love how you cut through what's all around to break it down to what the simple thing is, what's in front of us, and how do we need to overcome this. I love how you lead. I love watching it and learning from it and trying to emulate it in areas of my life. So whether that's at work, at home, all over the place.
Great.
What's your approach to leadership and people? Perhaps some people who are struggling or some who have talent that goes unrecognized. How do you approach leadership?
Oh gosh. I think when it comes to the people around me and again, as a leader here in the organization, whether it's someone in my own organization or even if I see a talent in another organization, I think the important thing is to meet people where they're at, find out what they want in life, have those conversations, take a minute to get to know them, what their aspirations are, and to help them find ways that they can stretch in their current role or to give them new opportunities to stretch, to just bring more visibility to their talent, give them a chance to exercise that muscle that maybe they haven't had that chance to demonstrate for the organization yet. I love the size of organization we're in. I love that, we can give people a chance to grow and to try new things here in a way that in some of my past lives in some bigger organizations, again, a little more cookie cutter, nothing wrong with that. Again, they were bigger. I get why they might need to operate that way. But where we are right now, we have this amazing time where we have so many opportunities that we can offer our team members to stretch into roles that maybe they never thought were going to be possible on the path they were on, but they have an aptitude or an interest in it, and we can give them a chance to test drive it and see where they shine, and who knows where it might lead. People gave me a chance throughout my career. Yeah. A lot of folks saw someone who had an interest in things and gave me a chance to exercise that. And so it's a great way to get to pay it forward, but also for us to have amazing talent get to grow within our own organization.
I love that. Do you have a particular mentor or boss in the past who helped foster that in you? Gosh,
I've had so many. There are so many people who influenced me. My mom was a single mom, and she oftentimes took me to work with her. She worked really hard. I mentioned her work ethic. She would maybe have me tag along. She had to work late one night or in the evenings or on the weekends. And there were people that I was introduced to in her work environment that saw I had a tech aptitude, and they gave me a chance. Some of my early college internships, I knew through people that she worked with that gave me a chance to come in and work on the help desk for the office that she was part of, or hired me to maintain their personal computers, which that was a lot of faith they put into a 15-year-old kid to hand over their personal computer and say, here, change out my hard drive or upgrade my memory for me. And especially back in those days, again, there was no Google for me to use. I was winging it, but they saw that I had an aptitude for something and they gave me a shot. And I think that's what we can do for people. If you see somebody who has an interest in growing, isn't it incumbent on all of us as leaders to give them a shot?
Right. Yeah, we're kind of obligated that way to help people grow as we've been helped. Yeah.
I think we absolutely have to pay it forward. And I think that those people will carry that forward. And we're all part of a bigger network, a relationship where if that's what we create in people, that desire to serve something bigger than themselves, to serve others, I think we're just going to be a better organization for it.
I love it. Okay, so talking tech in the future and orthodontics and all that we have. What do you see what are some big challenges that you see in the future of orthodontics around technology? I think we better talk about AI. Sure.
That's definitely out there. It's the thing everybody wants to talk about when they talk to me these days. And I love to talk about AI. I think AI is going to be amazing. I think it's going to impact us in our personal way, in our homes, as just consumers. I think it's going to impact us in healthcare and patient care and orthodontics. It's going to impact us in our corporate functions, everywhere from how we recruit team members to how we pay invoices to how we capture our notes when we're talking to a patient, how we're doing our follow-ups with patients. AI is going to be amazing. It's also a double-edged sword. Like any new technology, it's something that we're going to have to, be really mindful about how we implement. That doesn't mean we don't do it. It just means that we are thoughtful, we test and learn, make sure that we get a great outcome from the things that we are testing and that we're comfortable with the results. AI is built off of a different type of model. They can be private models, public models. You have to really understand what's feeding that model, what's the source of information for that platform, so that you know what the outcome is that the model might produce. You also have to be comfortable with not a 100% answer. When we write code, it is logic-based. If, then statements. I can tell you exactly if I put a piece of data in, what the outcome is going to be. But with AI, especially a public model, and depending on how it's being trained, those results can change from 1 minute to another. So as a business, we have to be comfortable saying, I'm okay with not always being able to predict the exact results that are going to come out of that model, because the model may change. So how we use those models, where we use those models, has to be an incredibly intentional decision, because the impact for the patient, the conversation with that employee you might be trying to recruit, or the way that invoice was handled could be different depending on how you've implemented that model. Right. We just have to go into it eyes wide open.
Wow. There's so much more to consider than just what's on the surface of all this stuff. Seems like, again, I know IT's favorite phrase is, it'll be really easy. Just do this, right? They love this. Yeah. When doctors come with suggestions because they've seen it done somewhere else, right? Like, and I'm guilty. But yeah, there's so much behind the scenes of, we don't want to change something that will then break things all on down the line. And then, or has huge future implications where there is exposure, liability, problems, patient data, all the things that I'm so glad we have you to think through and to consider. So yeah, you're just a blessing to this organization and the patients that we treat. Let's see. So there are some things that you've developed inside of Smile Doctors, and I think you may not even realize how awesome they are. Hopefully you do. Hopefully you you see the workflows, the cues, some of the changes, some of those things that have been developed, and the impact that they have that the rest of the industry doesn't realize that Smile Doctors has. It's all proprietary stuff that we've done. Would you take a minute and just brag a little bit about some of the things that we have to improve the lives of our team and ultimately our patients?
I would love to take a minute to brag a little bit on some of the things we've implemented here at Smile Doctors. And I say brag because I think part of our secret sauce is our development team here at Smile Doctors. A lot of the team members in that part of my organization have years and years of experience in orthodontics. So again, back to that, being a great consultant, that's how they approach our projects. They want to be the best technology consultants to give the patient and the clinical team the best outcomes. One of the things I think I'm proudest of that I've seen them implement here is what we call Smile Right at Home. I think this is really impactful and going to be a big place that we want to continue to invest here at Smile Doctors, is that it's really about how do we give the patient the ability to execute their contract from home, which is not necessarily revolutionary. But when you look across a lot of industries, the average consumer wants to be met where they're at. They want convenience where they're at. And there's just some decisions that they're not comfortable making on the spot or in front of people, and they want to make it maybe from the privacy of their home. So I've mentioned, I'm married, I have 3 kids. My kids have all been through orthodontic care, and my husband and I weren't always in a position to where we could sit there in the office to make a decision about their orthodontic treatment. And so what Smile Right at Home allows a patient to do is to go home, the convenience of, a mobile phone. They can sit there with their partner and take a look at the contract. They can set up their auto payment, make sure they're comfortable with the payment amount that they are committing to make to take care of their child's orthodontic treatment, and go through that whole process. Maybe it's 9:00 at night after the kids are in bed from their mobile phone because maybe their partner wasn't able to meet them at the orthodontics office that day. Now, look, I love same day starts. I love that patients are able to get started right there in the office. And I think that's amazing for so many of our patients. But I think that, to be able to build a solution that meets the patient where they're at, that personalizes that path for them and still supports their decision-making for their family is a pretty great piece of tech.
Yep. And I think you may be taking it a little bit for granted. I know I certainly don't. Orthodontists don't. Is just the full integration, the piece that has with every other software that we use. So it's not just like a little piece. Yeah, sure, you can sign your signature at home.
No.
But then it's how does it roll all the way through contract validations, and then to insurance, to every single thing that we have. That's the beauty and the full integration. That's just so awesome.
No, I'm very proud. You mentioned, that full integration, and it's fully integrated with our patient management system, but it's also, to your point, fully integrated with our bot that's running behind the scenes, which we call Buddy. Buddy the bot likes to audit contracts. So even though, we do try and standardize as many aspects of our contracts as we can, we have a bot that runs behind the scenes to make sure that every I is dotted, T's are crossed, that the information is clear, it's integrated back into the patient management system. And, everything has been done for the clinical team. So all they have to do is focus on getting that family started on their journey. They don't have to worry about paperwork. They don't have to worry about uploading a document anywhere. Everything is just done. And the clinical team gets to focus on caring for the patient.
Yep. It's just seamless and beautiful. Another thing that you guys have been doing and you heard the cries, you saw, okay, this is a pain point, is the TC work queues. Talk some about that.
Oh, I love this. This is definitely a passion project for so many of us here. Our treatment coordinators are amazing, and they do such a phenomenal job working with new patients, the practice director, the doctors to help that patient on their journey. And I remember, again, having visited so many practices and observing patient exams, it's a lot that we ask our treatment coordinators to do. They look at their calendar, they see that these new patients are booked, but then they also have to do their welcome calls, and they have to follow up on growth guidance exams, and they are following up on patients who maybe came in prior in prior days and weren't able to execute their contracts there or start their smile journey there. And so whereas their calendar tells them, oh, today I have 6 new patient exams to do, which is great, where on their calendar does it tell them that they need to follow up on all those things? And so what we were able to develop for them is what we call our work queues, our treatment coordinator work queues, again, fully integrated with the patient management system and our contracting system so that it's a one-stop shop. It shows them, hey, today it'd be a great idea to fit in these 3 follow-up calls with patients that were in earlier this week. Or, hey, you've got 4 new patient exam welcome calls to make that will set up your future exams for greater success because those families will know what to expect. And not only does it tell them to make those calls, but it puts all the information they need from the patient management system, from all of our other supporting systems right in front of them. It's one click. So they don't have to go hunt through emails or systems to find all the details. They need to have a really impactful conversation. All the details right in front of them. And so in between those new patient exams throughout the day, they can hop into their work queue, see that they need to call that new patient that might be coming in tomorrow, make sure they feel warm and welcome to the practice, their questions are answered, and then get right back into working with those new patients that are there today.
It's so awesome. Yeah. And it just up-levels everything. What I love about it is, again, your approach. It's the people first, and then it's process technology. And in this way, when it's very simple and they can get access to the information quickly, then they can have the personal connection that makes us unique. That makes for an incredible patient experience. So it's not just sterile and it's a transaction and, it's just information exchange. It's truly emotional connection.
But I think that is, and again, a lot of technologists would say, well, you could automate that.
Yep.
You could automate that phone call. You could have a bot call and make that welcome call. But that's not who we are. We love people first, straight teeth second. And I think when we partner with people like Ops Excellence, Shelley McNabb, and some of the teams that help us to develop these solutions and then roll them out into our practices, that is, again, our culture shining through because we love people first. We meet people where they're at and we develop the solutions around that versus a lot of people in technology who would jump in and go, but I could automate that. Or a sales team might, from a vendor might come in and go, you could automate that. Think of the number of welcome calls you could get. Sure, I could, but it takes the human element out of it. And that's really important. And that's where the partnership with Ops Excellence and our practices, that's where we shine through. And the tech can meet them where they're at versus trying to overpower and work against our culture.
I agree. And it ultimately, if we take a step back and that's what we do, it's a race to the bottom, turns orthodontics into a commodity, and we completely miss the opportunity to change someone's life in an emotional way of helping them as their teeth change, their heart can change for what they see in themselves and what's possible in the future. And I think that's why that's why doctors are in this industry. We love straightening teeth, but we love the emotional change that we see with our patients. It changes their whole life. And it's exactly why people like you have joined, because you love people. And it's what's involved in our whole organization is a bunch of people who love people. And we do this to straighten teeth and to support people who straighten teeth and just support one another. It's an amazing, amazing thing. Okay, so Jenni, as we're looking at technology and what's being done inside of orthodontics, do you see any other industries where it's like, wow, I wish we could take some of those things and apply it here to our industry?
I do. I mean, that's a great question. I think that what other industries are doing, and some that I was part of, particularly retail and restaurants, was the use of third-party data. And not from necessarily a creepy way. Granted, there's a lot of data out there. We all give up so much data as consumers every day. But how do you use that data to meet the patient where they're at, to better understand their needs, to personalize their experience and the employee experience as well? Because I think we could do even more on that side of things as well, right? How do we help support our team members and meeting them on their path of where they're at to better serve? So, we are actually doing a little bit of that now. We've got some great third-party data that we are using with marketing. We have some great third-party data that we are starting to integrate into our revenue cycle processes to enhance the way that we support for patients. I think other industries are a little further along on this, but we definitely see the need here in partnering with Tyler McVie and John Kaufman. We're all very aligned that there's ways that we can use some different third-party data to just further enhance the experiences here at Smile Doctors.
That's great. I love it. So, Jenni, I know you are sick and tired of password resets. We have a lot of that automated and all that stuff, but and a lot of people think that's what IT does is make it hard. But really, there is such a huge threat for outside hackers and everything else to protect our data. Talk a little bit about info security.
Absolutely, and yes, we are the bad guys who make you reset your passwords and think twice before you click and all the fun reminders and the ways that we try to keep this top of mind, because really information security is everybody's job. It's not just IT's job. We all have to be thoughtful about the links that we click, the text messages we respond to, the things that we try and download, even inadvertently. The bad actors, you used to be able to look at an email and you'd see all the spelling mistakes, and you would see all of the maybe poorly formatted emails or just the odd grammar. And you'd say, oh, that's a bad guy. That's a bad guy trying to do something. But the sad thing is the bad guys learned where spell check was. They've learned how to refine their approach. Maybe they're using AI to write better emails, write better text messages. But, my team and I, we say all the time, unfortunately, the bad actors work as hard as we work. Now, we do it to serve others. They're doing it for selfish reasons. But we need everybody to be mindful. If, they're being asked to do something that's outside of their normal pattern, I like to joke, John Hedrick is not asking you to buy gift cards. Jay, he goes by Jay Hedrick. The bad actors love to look at LinkedIn, find influential members of an organization, and then spoof that person. It's called smishing. They might act like they're texting you. So, hey, this is John Hedrick, and I need you to pick me up some gift cards or, fill me in on something. It's really important to think twice. Would this person really ask me to do this? Is this actually the number that this person normally texts me from? Is this really an email that I would expect to get from this person? Bad actors love to try and catch you when you're busy. So they catch you off guard. So they're going to hit you up on your busiest days. They love to hit you up on holidays because it feels urgent. They want to make you feel important, and they want to catch you when you're busy. And so they might ask you to do something from someone influential on that holiday. Oh, I really need your help. Hey, it's Thanksgiving, and we really got to do this to take care of our patients. Just think twice. And, we have great defenses here. We've got great solutions. I think I have the world's best information security director. But all the things that we can do to put up a strong defense, it really comes down to what each user does every day as to how strong our defenses are going to be to take care of our patient and employee data.
Who is that that security director?
His name is Rich Cannon, and I call him the purple unicorn because he's exceptional. He's people first. And again, a lot of IT people that we interview and we talk to are very cookie cutter. They've had great success in their careers doing things exactly one way and requiring things to be done exactly one way. But we're a brand of brands. We like to say freedom within a framework. I say one size fits one. And so what I ask of our IT team members here, and Rich exemplifies this, is really understanding what it is we need to do to serve our patients and our teams, and then finding IT solutions that work around that and with that, instead of trying to force people to do things one way. And Rich just exemplifies that every day.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So lastly, one of the biggest things that you do that is so impressive is our reportings, our reporting, our dashboards, our Power BI, all of that. Talk a little bit about how that's evolved, how that's such a benefit down to the practice level, all the way through and the power of the use of that data.
Absolutely. Very proud of what we've developed around our Power BI space. And I think there's still so much more we can do. But again, better never rests. See, right. I do overuse that phrase. Our Power BI data is power. And everybody just wants to know where they stand. And that's what we've really tried to build with our Power BI solutions. We want it to be incredibly accessible, whether it's from a mobile device, whether it's from a desktop. We want to make sure that it's going to help the person consuming that data understand exactly where they stand, but where the art of possible is, like where could they strive to be? And so because we have great data here through the systems that we've developed, that we've partnered with and integrated, we can use all of that data and correlate it into the best KPIs for this industry that tell the story of how we are doing on meeting the patient where they're at, how we're doing from a business standpoint, where the opportunities lie, and whether they want to see that on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, at a singular location or across the board for their practice, or even comparing to other practices, they can do that so that they can, the stakeholder or the user can take a look and decide, how do I want to get better? How do I want to use this data to excite my team about a way to improve the patient experience or to impact more lives? They've got all of the data to do that at their fingertips, typically refreshed by 6 a.m. Central every morning.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, from wait times to patient experience reports to, total number of visits to broken brackets to anything. And of course, our production data, everything is all there. Someone once said, and I love this phrase, that, we get accused all the time of being corporate. You're just corporate. All you care about is numbers and everything. Yeah. But I love this phrase. It's behind every metric, behind every number is a human being, and it's how we track it. And without it, it's not possible. It would be a giant mess. And so it does take organization, and it does take focus, but it takes a huge amount of heart. And Jenni, I am so grateful for you and the way that you lead your team, the way that you lead in this organization, and the huge heart that you have for people and for process and for technology to make us better and to allow us to serve and love our patients better. So thank you.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity every day. I love it. Ooh, cold cough. Okay.